have you do a project. Yeah, this is going to be a competition project. You're going to pair up into teams. We're going to split you up into 6 different teams. 3 of you are going to be contractors, contractor management. 3 of you are going to represent unions. We're going to immerse you in pretty realistic realities of contract negotiation associated with a specific project. That is, there's already an ongoing contract with the union, and you just bid a job as a contractor, and now you need to negotiate something different for this project. Okay? So, particulars about that. If you are selected to be on the management side, you don't want to share with the people on the union side until you get into the negotiations and you actually negotiate the contract. Okay? So you need to keep some proprietary stuff going on there. Okay? So to begin with, I'm going to pass out the scenario. Oh, 34? I don't think so. I should have counted. I've got 34 copies. Would you go down to the office and see where the rest of the copies are? Put some more, have them put more paper in the printer. It's in the main printer in the main office there. In the CEM office, yeah. See what's going on with that. Okay, so to begin with, what I'd like to do is to split you up. So let's start in the back here and just number off 1 to 6. Okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Remember your number. Okay, over here.
2, 3, 4,
5,
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1,
3, 4.
5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. All right. I want all the 1s back there. I want the 2s over here, the 3s over here, the 4s over here, 5s, 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I didn't even know what. Every project never.
I think it went pretty well. Big time. I will write. Well, get back to grade now.
There should be about 4, maybe 5 on each team. Yeah? 5, 4, 5 people. That's right. Okay. All right. Take 1 copy each and pass it this way. Do not pass it over on this side. Okay, take 1 copy each and pass it this way. Don't pass it over to the competition. Okay. Okay, to get some, well, in fact, let me. Okay. going to, today, the rest of today, and on Wednesday, you're going to be preparing. You're reviewing, you want to, there's a contract document that we're going to give you. There's all kinds of material you need to be preparing, and by Friday, when you come in, you got them. Okay, go ahead and pass them out. Everybody gets a copy.
So the printer has some problem, so maybe.
Oh, you still haven't got enough?
Yeah, so the colleague said that we may need to use different printer because that printer has some like technical problem.
Okay, well, if you don't get a copy of this today, I will post it online. You can print it on another printer, okay? So you'll have a copy, and I'll review it in detail anyway. But pass it out as many as you can. Make sure every team gets at least 2 copies, okay? So you've got one as a team. Okay, so you're going to prepare for the negotiations, and you need to derive a plan. Okay, that plan you need to turn in at the beginning of class on Friday. On Friday, you're going to go through the execution of that plan in actual negotiations. Okay? And we'll have 3 separate rooms set up for you at that time so that you can have some, I don't know, theatrics if you need to. And you're not going to bother the other teams, okay? And Yu Yang and myself will rotate between the teams and observe what's going on and so forth, okay? So there will be a team negotiating plan due Friday. You will have the results of what your negotiations determine written into what's known as a memorandum of understanding or a memorandum of agreement, okay? This is your intent for a contractual change. It's not quite written up into the contract, but it includes all the essence of what you've come up with in your negotiations, okay? Now, also, we've mentioned through the class period that you need to be concerned more about not just the contract, but behavior. What are your expectations of behavior, understanding that you've got to be competitive. If you're going to get more work, you've got to be competitive. I'm going to give you a handout, a chapter actually asked for by some executives after they read the balance of my book. They said, hey, you got to tell us more about this trust thing and how that works, because we don't trust each other. We don't trust our clients, they don't trust us, we don't trust we don't even trust each other. Okay, so we delivered more about trust. I want you to read that in addition to the other documents that we've sent, and I want you to come up with a protocol. This is not a contract. This is expectations of behavior. What do you expect them to do? What do they expect you to do? So together, you're going to become more competitive. Does that make sense? Okay, so those 2 documents, your signed memorandum of understanding, you're going to do the negotiations on Friday. Your plan goes in at the beginning of the class period on Friday. Okay? Then your signed agreement is going to be concluded hopefully by the end of your negotiations on Friday. If you need more time, you're welcome to get together as a team, decide, hey, we got to have more time. You got until the next Wednesday, the 1st of November, to have your signed memorandum of agreement turned in. Okay, it will be due on Wednesday. And at the same time, you need to have your mutually satisfactory protocol addressing those competitive issues, and you need to have that submitted at that same time. Any question about that? Okay, I'm going to introduce you then to the things that you're going to be using in order to get this assignment done. Okay, so the first thing is that teams 1, 3, all the even teams, this should be 3. And, oops, can't change it in this one. Okay, it should be 3 and 5. Okay, so all the odd teams represent the management of Bridge Builders Inc., including the Vice President for Project Operations, the Vice President for Personnel, the Project Manager for the G-Tron project, and the company lawyer. Now, each of you have 4 to 5 members, so I want each of you I want you to split those responsibilities up. Okay? Each of you play the role of one of those individuals in the company team. Okay, teams 2, 4, and 6 are going to represent the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 130, negotiating committee. This will include the business agent, the president of the local, 2 local 130 members elected to this negotiating committee, which includes 1 senior crane operator and a senior pump man. Okay? So that's only 4 people. So make up another one if you got 5. Okay? And put them on your team as well. Okay. So during the class today, you're going to review materials together. And I want you to, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to, one of you take out a piece of paper and everybody sign it. Write nice and legibly so we can read it. And send it back so we know who's on which teams. Okay? Okay, hang on a second. You need to come up, who's got only 4 people? This team here. No, wait, you got 5 now, right? Who's got only 4? Okay, you're over on this team over here. Okay, so that puts everybody at 5, and that gives us 30 people. We're still missing 4 people. Interesting. Okay, so we have 4 missing. Okay, so everybody sign in, or sign a sheet of paper, so we know who's on which team. Label it with the team number, and then we'll be able to keep track of who's on which team. Okay? Okay. So we will, okay, when you talk about it today, if you have a place you can go, you're only going to need to meet together as a team of 5. You may add a 6th person to your team, but no more than 6, okay? And you need to have a place to go. If you don't have a place to go, email us and we'll find a room for you to meet next week, okay? If you would like to meet on your own, you're welcome to meet on your own, okay? So you can pick a place in the library or student center, or
meeting during class time?
you can meet during class time on Wednesday, yes. Okay? Now, if you come and meet here, I'm happy to be here and provide any guidance that you need, answer questions. You may need to make some stuff up. We've made it as, I think, reasonably realistic, but if there's some issues that, you know, you just gotta have an answer for, ask us, we'll make it up. If you want to, make it up yourself. Okay, but tell us what assumption you've made. Does that make sense? Okay. So on Friday, then you are going to do the negotiations, and those will proceed, and we will pair you up. Team 1 will be paired with Team 2, 3 with 4, and 5 with 6. And we will have 3 separate rooms identified for you to meet in, and tell you that. Now, I would like you all to meet here on Wednesday, at least to start off with. Okay, so that we can give you any additional information, answer any questions, and get started right. Okay, so plan on being here on Wednesday, and then you can go, I don't care where you go, if you want to go someplace else, or you can stay here if you want. I will have several other rooms available for you if you ask me to. We'll find some additional rooms. Okay? But give me a little time to do that if you want an extra room. Okay, so prior to the class meeting, you must meet and develop your goals, your strategy, your tactics, and other advanced work as you've learned in the course materials, and summarize that into your team negotiating plan. You'll consult with your class notes and the handouts, the elements of successful collective bargaining, for example, some ideas about what should be in a negotiating plan. At a minimum, the team's written agenda for subjects for the negotiating session, which you'll present openly to the other side as part of your first step of negotiation. And then your confidential stuff for use only within your team, key to the agenda outline and containing your complete team strategy and assignments. Content should include the bargaining goals, the team assignments, the position of strength, where you feel your positions of strength are, your fallback positions. Remember, your success at the table will depend to a great extent on the thoroughness of your plan as written into the contracting plan itself. Okay, I have to actually make this visible. Okay, you all have a copy anyway. So again, you're going to turn in your negotiating plan at the beginning of class, and we'll grade you on that as well. And then you'll conduct the negotiations. Okay, you'll have 50 minutes to do that. And the object is to reach a negotiated project agreement specific to this project, which will be written out and then signed by all parties, excuse me. The teams may find that negotiations require more than 50 minutes, and in such case, you're welcome to schedule additional time. You'll have until the following Wednesday to turn it in. Oh, there's another October 26th plan in there. That is incorrect. It is November 1st, as stated here. Okay. And if you need time beginning on Wednesday, we're happy to take a few minutes at the beginning of the class to have you sign the final copy. All of you need to sign that. Okay, so real world considerations. This scenario, while realistic, does not contain all the information which teams would like to have available. We think it's pretty good though. So go ahead and make reasonable assumptions if you need to. Okay, so here's the scenario. The Chicago Transportation Authority, CEM324, has announced the construction project and received bids and awarded the contract. The contract is a major overhaul on a 60-year-old Main Street bridge over the Chicago River in downtown Chicago. Bridge Builders, Inc. has won the job with a low bid, and CEM324 has set a firm construction time of 60 calendar days. BPI must propose a construction schedule for performing the job over a 60-day schedule sometime between the period of November 1st and June 30th. CEM324 will issue the notice to proceed on November 1st, and BPI must provide to CEM324 the firm's construction schedule with the 60-day construction dates within 2 weeks. Okay, time is of the essence. There's that set of words that mean something by now to you, right? Once the construction schedule is approved by CEM324, the 60-day completion period must be met with a liquidated damages of $100,000 per day. And the construction must be suspended from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. to permit the City of Chicago street and river operations to proceed. The contractor must have an aggressive safety program, and there's an incentive, $150,000 at the end of the job if their safety record when the project is finished is statistically similar or significantly better than the industry average for this type of work involved. Affirmative action also applies, 25% minority and 10% female in the workforce. Okay, so BBI is a union general contractor with a 3-year operating agreement, among other unions. The local Union 130 of the National Union of Operating Engineers, and this CEM324 project will require a large crew of operating engineers, up to 30 of them, in a variety of specialties will be needed during peak periods. Some specially trained and experienced operators, for example, floating derrick barges, dewatering equipment, etc., will be needed. The history of labor management unions, or relations between BBI and the union, has been contentious at best. Local 130 struck BBI on a large public works job back in 2015 over overtime pay issues and BBI's firing of allegedly poorly trained union operating engineers. BBI is double-breasted. Open shop counterpart is Merit Builders and has successfully fought off union organizing efforts over 10 years. Remember, just because you're double-breasted doesn't mean you stay double-breasted, right? All it takes is the union winning, and you're a union, okay? I'm represented by one. So that hasn't, this infuriates the local 130. To date, mutual respect and rapport between the officials and BBI management has been near zero. BBI, a member of AGC of Illinois and Local 130 have a current agreement which is identical to that, and that's going to be posted for you, so you need to review that. Okay, so that's the name of the folder, includes the wage rates given, and the project agreement which is to be negotiated will be a supplement to this contract agreement. Okay, so this is the current governing contract. Okay, mandatory bargaining subjects include but are not limited to working hours, wages, affirmative action, the safety bonus, and the no strike clause. Okay, now some lean considerations. Of course, your deliberations must address the current project. In addition, both the union and the contractor have become aware of the potential opportunity associated with lean methods. This requires consideration of the longer view. Trust and mutual benefit must be addressed and resolved to a protocol, which is not legally binding, but nevertheless describes expectations that each of you have of each other in order for your relationship to yield a competitive advantage to clients and yourselves. Therefore, review the handouts. You've already got this one. You've already reviewed this one. You're going to need to review this one, okay? And that is not a trivial chapter. It's about 30 pages long, and it's pretty dense. But it describes, to the satisfaction of many executives in our industry, what trust can and ought to be, and how to improve it. Okay, plan for how and when to bring up the subject, then execute your plan and derive a mutually satisfactory protocol. Included should be a description of what you expect from such behavior and what will be the result if either party fails to abide by the protocol, and how you intend to deal with minor breaches to get back into progression towards your expected mutual benefits. Okay, any questions about that? Yeah, it's not there yet,
Okay.
but it will be shortly after class. Okay, barely made it back into the saddle long enough to prepare this to even get some of the dates changed in the document properly, so I apologize for that. Okay, so any questions then? Okay, we can't review, well, let's see, I can show you quite a number of other documents here. Okay. This is your negotiation preparation form. Okay, so you're going to want to list the union contract clause that you're addressing and how you desire to change it with any commentary on what you intend to do. Okay, and that may be a lengthy contract or document depending on what you feel is necessary to achieve the ends that are described here. Okay. Go to changes form. This is your memorandum of understanding. Okay, once you go through, notice that it's very similar to what your plan should be, right? It's going to be organized the same way. But here is the results, your agreed upon contract clauses versus the existing contract clause. And then, again, pay particular attention to why. Because you've got to explain this to you've got to go back as a union, and you've got to explain this to your people, right? Okay? All right. Let's see, what else we got? Suggested protocol form. Okay, so take a look at that and the frameworks and what do you expect to happen? you know, if we continue doing the same things that we're doing, we can't expect different results, can we? So give some thought to what you're going to do differently in order to make some things happen that you think are mutually beneficial. Okay, this is the chapter on enhancing project fitness with improved relationships with trust. Lots of issues there and examples. Lots of the examples came from executives out of the heavy industries. So I think you'll find that interesting. I hope you do. Here's the contract agreement. This again is not trivial. You've got 58 pages, so you're going to have to spend some time reading through it. But it's large print, not quite that as ominous as it may seem. But you got to immerse yourself in the realities of what you have to deal with. So this is an opportunity to see what's actually going on, and as near as we could come up with a means to do that in the academic sector, gets you immersed in what is happening. Okay? Anyone have any questions? Okay, I hope you enjoy it. So jump in and see what you can come up with, okay? And again, ask any questions you have, okay? But review the stuff and see what you can generate for your plan. Okay, that's all I have for today. You're welcome to meet as teams and keep going.
You have finished the grading?